I am always happy to speak to my next guest. When he's not fighting, he's out being a superhero in the streets of Texas. I'm happy to welcome back Kevin Holland. Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, my man. How have you been?
I have been fantastic, and I appreciate taking the time for me as always. I'd love to talk about fighting with you. I'd love to talk about a lot of things with you. But have you stopped any more crimes? I was kind of surprised you didn't show up wearing the cape with the S on your back today.
No. So what I've learned, talking to a good friend of mine, she actually has a fight coming up, was that she said, my boy, when you do ratchet hood stuff, you take your glasses off. When you do good stuff, you keep your glasses on. She said, you're reverse Clark Kent. And I like that a lot. So I might start calling myself Clint Clark. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, there was a guy flipped the 18-wheeler. I got out, helped that guy. Other than that, nothing else has happened.
Okay, now hold on. I got to ask this story now. Flipped an 18-wheeler? Tell me this story. Come on.
Dude, I'm driving the Regal. You know what I mean? My old school. I'm kind of like a Batmobile. Everybody knows Batman's my favorite character. That's probably why I intervene in all these things. Driving down the road, enjoying some good old 80s and 90s music, just cruising. It's fast, but for some reason I was cruising. I look over to the right-hand side. This guy looked like he's trying to get on the freeway pretty quick. I look back straight. I look back over to the right-hand side, and he's doing this, sliding sideways. I'm like, oh, gosh. I pulled the Regal over. Good thing I put the new brakes on there. Hopped out, ran over there, jumped on top. We ripped the door open, got the guy out. Look, check this out. I get the guy out. There's fluids flowing out the car and stuff. I get the guy out the truck. I'm like, I'm scared. Every other time things have happened, I've been like calm, cool, and collected. This time I'm scared. I'm like, bro, the truck's going to blow up, The guy gets back in his truck and is like, I need my phone. I'm like, bro, I got a second phone in the car. You don't need your phone, bro. We got to go. He's like, no, I got to go get my shit. So I help him get out the second time. He's like, bro, help me out. I help him out the second time. I'm like, bro, we have to go. He's like, I think I need something else out of the truck. I'm like, bruh, I'm leaving. So as I turn around, there's a cop there. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, no, you tell me what's going on. Who's driving, you or him? I'm like, no. My car is down there. I have nothing to... Yeah, so that was one of them situations. I probably should stay my ass in the car.
That's crazy. A jackknife 18-wheeler. That's scary enough. Was there any other cars involved or just the truck?
Nah, it was a lot of cars on the freeway, but he was entering the ramp. But he was still on if you ever live in Texas, you live in Fort Worth, you kind of know how our ramps are. It's a long way to get on the freeway. So he was, doing that. Then he slid. He slid perfectly on the grass. He's like on the grass, it's a little bit of a hill. He's just sideways. I think the dude fell asleep while trying to get on there. Who knows? You know what I mean? So I know how it is when I'm driving. I be tired too. So I feel it. I be swerving.
Jeez, man. I tell you what, you get in those situations, and listen, I don't fault any. Listen, it's not easy. I've been in those situations before where you see a car. I've actually stopped for like a car flipping over in front of me on the highway before, but yeah, you see those situations. Not everyone's gonna stop. Let's be honest. No. You know what I mean? Like there's something different built in you when you're ready to stop and help somebody like that. Because a lot of people would just be like, "Oh man, that's crazy," or they'd slow down and watch, take a video on their car, on their phone or something, and then just drive on.
Yeah, well, I got off to the side because I didn't want to cause traffic. See, I ain't that guy that likes to have traffic all in the middle of the road. So we got off to the side, and I got a lot of family that drives trucks. And had I not been a mixed martial artist, I probably would have been a truck driver. So I feel for the truck drivers when they're on the road. I hate when they jump in front of me, but I feel for them when they're on the road.
That's crazy. So the guy was okay, obviously. He's trying to go back for his phone and everything. The guy was okay.
The guy was perfectly fine, but when the officer pulled up, all of a sudden he was like, oh, and I was like, yeah, bro, like you playing. I was like, bro, I'm about to go get the car.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy, man. That's good. Like, do you ever think, like, how do I keep ending up in these situations?
Bro, I got another situation that's way more wild than that. I'll never speak on it. So, like, yeah, after that situation, I was like, how do I keep getting put in these situations? But, when I was young, I wanted to be a superhero, so you got to be careful what you ask for. You ask for certain things, and they start to happen, and you start to wonder why these things are happening. You got to be careful what you ask for. So
now you have an established nickname. You've used this nickname for many, many years. But listen, nicknames are, I know the tradition in fighting is nicknames are given to you, not taken. You don't give yourself your own nickname. Listen, I like the Clint Clark nickname. I'm thinking like the Dark Knight. You're a big Batman fan. I'm just listen. Nothing wrong with Trailblazer. Absolutely nothing wrong with Trailblazer. But
just saying, Trailblazer gets the job done. I see something happening. I blaze it.
Yeah, I'm just saying though, you're a Batman fan, like the Dark Knight, that could be a new one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you want an extra nickname, holler at your boy. I can help you out.
All right, bet. I'm gonna holler at my boy. I got you.
So, Kevin, I appreciate beyond being a superhero. Of course, you are a fighter. When you're not saving people's lives, you're actually a fighter. I don't know if people know that or not. Your return. You're returning June 18th, and actually this one's going to be in Austin, Texas. Now, I know you train a lot down in Houston. For people that don't know, Texas is huge. I've been to both places. I actually really love Houston. I love Austin too as well. Great place. But being in your home state, like I looked at your record. It's been since 2018 since you fought in Texas. You never fought in Texas in the UFC, and you've been fighting these Apex fights because of the pandemic. So, can you give me your are you excited to be not only back with the crowd, but do it in your home state?
Look, I don't know who the main event is. I do know who the main event is. It's Cater and Emmers or something like that. But look, it don't matter. You know what I mean? The people's main event. I don't care who else they put on the card. We all know who the people's main event that night is. It's me versus Tim Means. Tim Means is an OG in the game. He's beat a lot of guys that live in Texas, from Texas, train out of Texas. And me, you know what I mean? I'm from California. Let's not ever get it confused. Ontario, California at that. Rancho Cucamonga, Ontario Hills. But let's get back to the point. I've been in Texas since I was 18 years old. Some say 17. I know it was 18. And I just know how it goes, man. I've been here for a long time. I love it here. When I go to H-Town, I get super beautiful love. When I'm in Fort Worth, I get a crazy, weird love, but I still love it. When I'm in Dallas, that's still Fort Worth. I get love. I get love all over Texas. I'm excited to be there. The people were excited that I get to be there. I'm excited to see the people while I'm in there. I'm going to be talking to the crowd. I'm going to be fighting Tim Means. Big Mouth's going to be full effect. Trailblazer is going to go out there and do what Trailblazer does. It's going to be a magical night. Nothing's stopping it. I don't care what they say, what anybody does. And if Tim Means, if you can't make it, UFC, find somebody for the backup. I'm fighting on that night. And it's going to be, the roof's going to blow off. So I need a new roofing sponsor. It might be Result Roofing. So they might have to plug me in after this one because we're blowing the roof off and they're going to have to come fix the building. I promise you that.
I love it. And I did. Let me correct myself. I said home state. I should have said adopted home state because you've been in Texas for a long time. I always forget. You're actually not from Texas. You just have called Texas home for a very, very long time. That being said, Kevin, getting a chance to fight here. Now listen, part of the joy of the pandemic, if there's been one thing that we liked about the pandemic, not that we liked much, but there's one thing we did like about the pandemic. When you were in the Apex, we got to hear the full Kevin Holland experience because we got to enjoy hearing you in the cage and things like that. It was actually one of the fun parts when you're actually talking to guys outside the cage, all the kind of things you do. Now there's going to be a crowd back. We lose that. If there's one thing I'm going to miss about the pandemic, it's that. We don't get the full Kevin Holland experience.
Well, you know what? You get the memes still. You still get the memes. Even with a crowd, you still get the memes. You get thumbs up moments, which is viral. And you still get great walkouts, and you may have to wait a little while, but the UFC has great microphones and they have great lip readers. So it might take a couple weeks, but when it comes out, you always get to see what I said in that cage. So you get to watch my fight twice. Once wondering what I said and twice knowing what I said. So it's a good feel. At the end of the day, I double the views. And it's still a fun time.
Have you ever seen those videos they do on YouTube? I can't remember the company that does it. They do the lip reading for movie parts, and they replace what people say with what it looks like they're saying. Yeah, it is freaking hilarious. I feel like that's gonna have to be go back when it's over. I know you got. Listen, I was gonna ask you about this anyways. I know you got an OnlyFans, which was a surprise to me. And at one point, when you announced your fight with Cowboy Oliveira, your manager. He said, Kevin's got a fight announcement. I was like, awesome. Where is it? And he said it's on his OnlyFans. I was like, all right, I got to sign up for an OnlyFans account. And someone's going to tell my girlfriend that I signed up to see a Kevin Holland fight announcement. Cause I was I don't want to get busted going to OnlyFans for something else. But listen,
this is the thing. The way that OnlyFans is now changing their platform is not going to only be for what you used to see it as. It will be for real fans to interact with real people like me and others that are now joining the platform. And I don't want to say multiple names because I don't know everybody's name that's on there. But it's on OnlyFans, you may have a higher chance of getting a message back from me and having a conversation. They have this little donation thing you do. So you can put 1 cent in there, 2 cents in there, it doesn't matter. But the message comes through in a special inbox and we might actually get a chance to interact a little bit more. So you do get that OnlyFans true experience And on top of that, check this out. You get to log on to OnlyFans and blame Kevin Holland for it. Why not, right? Let's go.
I love the concept though, and of course your fight announcements are kind of becoming legendary at this point. I mean, listen, I'm not going to say you can't because again, you're a trailblazer. That's what you do. You can't go back though. You can't just go back to like regular fight announcements now. This last one with Tim Means was fantastic, hilarious. So you can't go back now. You understand that, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I have a great management group. I got when I say management group, it's really one man that's building a team. But, you know, I got a great team of people behind me all the way around the board with great ideas. And, you know, and me as well. You know, sometimes I sit back, blaze my reefer and think of some of the greatest things in the world. But, you know, it's like we come up with some great ideas and Oren's never shy to tell me what he's thinking and I'm never shy to do it. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to stop giving, you know, crazy announcements. Only way we won't give a crazy announcement is if a fighter that I'm fighting beats me to the announcement. But if they beat me to the announcement, they're just killing the buzz that we have all going anyways. I make it a little greater, a little greater. That's all I can say. A little greater. Make it a little greater on that one.
Yeah. Now, I know coming out of the Cowboy fight with Alex Oliveira, let me be clear, you actually had talked about maybe fighting Cowboy Cerrone. That was one you mentioned as a potential fight. Now, actually, you guys are going to be sharing a card here. I know Cowboy has said he has 2 fights left in him. Joe Lozon, of course, who actually shares the same manager as you. They're going to be fighting on the same night as you. He has 1 more fight. Do you still have interest? Would you actually want to be Cowboy's retirement fight? Is there any interest there? I mean, I don't want to pigeonhole you before a fight happens, but I mean, would you have any interest in being that final fight, or would you not want to be like the guy that sends him out on retirement?
Look, everything goes well. I don't mind sending a lot of guys out on retirement. And I'm not trying to be funny here. I just don't mind sending a lot of guys out on retirement. Look, a year and a half ago, you probably would have been like, Kevin didn't have this mindset. You're right. I didn't. So I don't mind sending these guys out of retirement because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the champ. Mark my fucking words. You know what I mean? I'm going to be the champ. I popped some shrooms about a couple weeks ago and I had these visions, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm going to be champ. My first time popping shrooms and they said, you see the future. I seen the future. I'm going to be the fucking champ. So yeah, I'm ready to fucking do it. I was out of competition when I did, so it didn't fucking matter. So yeah, I'm ready to go out there and do everything I got to do. Put in the work, swim those extra laps, ride the bike for those extra miles. I'm not running because I ain't no runner. I don't run from shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, getting it done. I'm going to be that guy. So if I'm your last fight, don't worry. You're going out against a legend. Not yet, but I will get there. More viral knockouts, more viral moments. It's one thing I'm going to promise my people, and that's one thing I'm going to do. So I'm not stopping until I'm done, and that's just the way it's going to go. And I got a feeling I'll get it by 34. I have to hold it for 2 years until I'm 36. I said I was going to retire at 34, but if I'm giving the people what they want, I'll stay in this thing until I'm 36, and then I'll go shoot some movies.
I love it.
I'll fix the gap for the movies, guys. I won't fix the gap until I get in the movies, okay? So leave me alone about the gap.
I love it. You know, it's funny when we talked about, you know, when you were making your welterweight debut, we talked about going down to welterweight. And you said very honestly, you're like, listen, I didn't take it seriously before. I was not cutting weight the right way. You know, I was, you know, doing things kind of crazy to get down to 170. Now, listen, I know you said I'll fight a middleweight. I'm not afraid of going back to middleweight. I'll fight a middleweight. But I got to be honest, Kevin, you look fantastic in the Oliveira fight. It was nice seeing, like, obviously, and again, you know, size. I mean, listen, we've seen guys who fought at welterweight go up to middleweight and do well. Kelvin Gastelum's a great example of that. We've seen other guys do it, of course. But I thought you, well, exactly. Robert Whittaker's a great example. But I thought you looked great at welterweight. Now, again, I know you're still willing to do the middleweight, but would you say that you found your true home now at welterweight?
I mean, if you watch my pro debut way back in the day at XKO, very, very first fight, I came out and said I'm the president at 170 pounds. And still till today, I still do feel like that. I've always been the president of 170 pounds. When I'm there, I make waves, I make moves, and I make it look fucking good. I can do good things at 85 too, but the things I do at 85, it's funky. You know what I mean? It's funky because it just has to be funky because I'm not the big guy there. I'm not the dominant guy there. I'm just the funky guy making things happen. But at 170 pounds, yes, it's comfortable to say that I'm a full-blown athlete, full-blown mixed martial artist, full-blown martial artist, period, when it comes to 170 pounds, because I have to put in the work and I have to truly put in the grind. You know, I can't cut any corners. I have to do things the proper way. I have to stay on top of the diet. So if I do end up getting messed up for a couple of days and I can't train for a couple of days, then I'm still on task. So everything about 170 pounds requires me to be that guy. So, yeah, I'm the president of 170 pounds, and it's always going to be that way. There may be some hitters down there. There may be some quote-unquote champs and some legends, some goats and all that stuff. But presidential, Presidente, that's me.
I love it. You said in a different interview, you talked about like making the, going up the ranks, so to speak, at welterweight. And you said you're on your Sean O'Malley tip, going in, you're like, give me all the cans. Now, listen, we all know Tim Means is anything but a can. The dude's been around forever. Tim's a super tough guy. I mean, you don't get shot and come back to fight like whatever it was, like 2 months later, whatever crazy thing he did back in the day, if you're not a tough dude. But if you want to be champion, of course, you want to rise up those ranks. So it kind of give me a sense, like, again, I'm not looking past Tim Means because, again, Tim Means, super tough guy, 3-fight win streak, very good fighter. But, like, how quickly do you want to start, like, looking at that? Because, again, if you want to get to the Kamaru Usmans of the world, and I would argue, and again, please feel free to disagree with me.
I don't plan on getting it while Kamaru's champ. Kamaru will lose the belt before I get there, and I'm not trying to be funny. When I say lose the belt before I get there, either he'll lose the belt in competition or he'll just simply give the belt up and go elsewhere and do other things. Kamaru seems like he's at the end of the path. And I have about a year to go, a year and a half to go at the most. So that being said, I'll take whatever path they give me. If they want to slow roll me, I'll slow roll me. If they want to give me 4 or 5 fights these years, all guys not ranked in the top 15, that's perfectly fine. That's what they want to do. If they want to put on for the fans, here they got another fight card coming in Texas as well. If they want me to fight 2 times this year in Texas and then backdoor and go get a last minute Vegas fight, whatever they want me to do. I'm a company man. I keep saying it over and over again. It's whatever. When the ranked opponents come, the ranked opponents will come. People say I had a tough time with Marvin Vettori and Derek Brunson. I mean, they're big boys and they did nothing but laid on me and try to prey on me. So, I think I'll have a phenomenal time no matter who the guy is at 170 pounds, whether they're a great wrestler or a great striker. I think I'll be okay, especially at 170 pounds. At 185 pounds, I might want to put a little bat in my back pocket and pull it out, knock them over the head when they keep humping me like that. But other than that, yes, I think I'm good to go wherever. So when the time comes, I'll truly be ready. Until then, I'll just keep perfecting my craft with whoever they give me. So if they give me somebody out of the top 15, I'm not saying that they're bums. I'm just saying that they're not that top 100 athlete in the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I asked you a variation of this question when we talked right before your last fight, when you fought Alex Oliveira. We did the interview after your fight had been announced. And we talked about, the lay of the land at welterweight. I kind of asked your opinion on like the welterweight division as a whole. And I'm going to kind of redo that here because now that you're officially in the division, people have their eyes on you. You're going to be in a big fight coming up on June 18th. And we always got, people come in division, people are always kind of watching like, okay, this is the guy we need to watch. Well, of course, Kevin, you're a guy we always need to watch. So when you look at welterweight, like who do you see out there that you like? Like, do you like not saying matchups, not saying you're calling out names and not actually do that. But when you look at guys, like I think I remember you mentioning last time, you mentioned Hamzat, you mentioned Usman, of course, at the time, but like kind of give me the lay like what you think of the top guys at welterweight, because eventually you're going to get there. You're going to go through the Gilbert Burns, the Colby Covingtons, the Hamzat Chimaevs. Again, if you mention Usman, I agree. I think Usman's probably at the tail end of his career, a couple, 3 more fights, and he's probably going to be out of here. And listen, I'll say right now, I think Usman might be the GOAT. But again, he is at the tail end of his career. So kind of give me your lay of the land. Like, what do you think of the guys you will eventually go through at welterweight?
I think GSP's the GOAT, just based off the way he defended the belt. He went against, several different opponents, not the same person twice. So I felt Bilal Muhammad when he said that. But no, the lay of 170 pounds, not that much better than the lay of 185 pounds, to be honest with you. Some pretty good wrestlers down there. There's some grimy guys down there. There's some guys, it's probably safe to say that the guys slightly outside the top 15 are probably tougher than the guys in the top 15. Just my opinion. That being said, no, you name a lot of those names you named just right now, to be honest with you, I ain't worried about none of them. You know what I mean? And then Superman finally looked human, Superman finally looked human against Gilbert Burns. Same guy that Usman knocked out with a jab. You know what I mean? Finally looked human against Gilbert Burns. So, yeah, I mean, I think styles make fights. And I think, as long as I'm putting in that work, my style's tailor-made for anybody in that division.
Yeah, that's the dangerous thing about hype. Like, I think, listen, you go out there and have a war with Gilbert Burns. Like, Gilbert Burns is incredible. I'm a huge Gilbert Burns guy. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. But he's like when you go from incredible dude. I mean, incredible. You follow him on Instagram. He's actually working with a kid right now who is dealing with I think he was I want to say it was like a brain situation. He had a brain thing and he was like, having trouble walking, and now Gilbert's training him in jiu-jitsu. Gilbert's just an incredible dude all the way around. But in terms of fighting, though, he's an incredible fighter. But and I'm not saying that Hamzat's not good. Listen, I'm not making that accusation. But like I said, that was a big step up. And we saw, like I said, danger with hype. You go in there with a real dude, you get to that top 15 level, it's a different story, because he hadn't really fought those guys yet. And again, I'm not saying that Hamzat's not great. He may be a future champion. I have no idea. But again, that's a big step up. And like I said, that's when you kind of realize, like, there's hype and then there's reality.
Yeah. I mean, the hype was high, but the reality of the fact is the kid did still get the job done. And, it was a war, but he still got the job done, and it was entertaining and it was good. I'm not going to knock anybody. You know what I mean? I'm definitely not a hater. So, I mean, props to everybody in the division. They're doing a great job. Nobody is where they are without putting in work. I think they're all doing phenomenal. But like I said, in my mind, what I feel, styles make fights, and I always felt like my style can give anybody a problem. Take care of that wrestling shit. My style is a huge problem. So, yeah, and my team out here in Fort Worth, they're finally coming together. My little trips to Houston really work, and my guys out here in Fort Worth, they're finally, pulling it together. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be nice. It's going to be beautiful. If 22 ain't beautiful, 2023 will be motherfucking fantastic. I promise you that. You might start seeing mountains in Texas. That's how beautiful it'll be.
Well, I know 2022 is still looking pretty good. And Tim Means, you mentioned when you first came into welterweight, we talked about the guys you wouldn't mind fighting, and you mentioned a couple of legendary names. Of course, we already talked about Cowboy Cerrone was a guy that you potentially targeted. You also mentioned a guy I know very well, Matt Brown, another welterweight kind of legend like that. Tim Means doesn't get that tag a lot, but when you look at what the dude's done, like, he's a super tough dude. He's like that old school, that old school fighter. Like, he's not the guy who's going to talk to you. He's not the guy who's going to tell you what he's going to do. He's just going to go and do it.
He ain't playing with you. He ain't going to play with you. He ain't going to play with you. Guess what? And I think a lot of people haven't realized, I ain't going to play with Tim too much either. We dropped that one video for everybody to see what was going on. I shot several videos that day. I just did a commercial before that, so I understood the course of really shooting a video now. And we got some good video done, but I'm not going to play with Tim either. You know what I mean? Tim's an OG. I respect that. So Tim don't play. I don't want to play with Tim either. We get in there, like I said, I will be talking to the crowd. I won't be talking to Tim. I'll be talking to the crowd, but I will be fighting Tim. And no disrespect to Tim, that's just how I get down when I get down. So I'm looking forward to it. And then earlier you said Kamaru Usman was a GOAT. No, I hope I said this already, GSP. And then you did ask me about the Cowboy Cerrone fight. Would I like being his last one? I got on this long-ass spiel. The answer is yes. If he beats Joe Lazon, somebody from my management company, the same night that I fight, he looks good, I look good. Why not let me be your last bang? I'm anybody's good first fight. I'm anybody's good last fight. I was Buckley's first fight in the UFC, and I groomed that man into a beautiful young man. And you see he'll be on the card, my son. And now we have Cowboy Cerrone, an OG, somebody who I once said that I would like to take that mantle of somebody who fights all the time and stays active like a true cowboy. I've been in Texas for a long time. I like to think I got that yeehaw to myself. So, I wouldn't mind taking that title.
Yeah, I love it. You also, I know, listen, you said, you mentioned, of course, July 30th, they're coming back to Dallas. That would literally be in your backyard. I mean, Austin's not that far away, but you would literally be in your backyard. But do you have the ability? I know it sounds like you do, but I mean, again, fighting at 170 is different than fighting at middleweight. You didn't have to cut a ton of weight fighting at middleweight. Can you keep that same schedule being a welterweight? Can you do that? Like getting down to 170 constantly?
Yeah, that's the thing about it. So the thing about it is I don't cut a lot of weight to get to 170 pounds either. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I get on the diet, my body goes down to 192 like that. As soon as I get on the diet super heavy and start working out a lot, sometimes after a training session, I might be close to 188 pounds. You get what I'm saying? So I was never cutting a lot of weight to get the middleweight. I was just simply eating more tacos to stay above where I needed to be. So that's just me. Yeah, I can make 170 pounds fairly easy. I questioned myself last time when I was cutting to 170. I didn't look sucked in. I didn't look drawn in. I finally did a weight cut the right way, and I still had plenty of left in me. I had a shake the night, and I think I had a little breakfast that morning before I went and weighed in. I could probably make 155 pounds to take Charles Oliveira's belt from him if nobody else can do it. But I like Charles, and I'm not that type of guy who wants to get that skinny and look that slim. So 70 as far as I will go. And if you come out with a 75 weight class, I will go there. And yes, I would love to fight at 185 pounds. So if you need me to fight in Dallas and nobody at welterweight wants to do it that soon, I'm pretty sure somebody at middleweight wants to do it.
Yeah, I love it. And you, like I said, you're that dude. You know what I mean? You're that dude. You're a superhero on the side. You're the dude who will step in and fight whenever they need you to. Like I said, man, next time, I'm telling you right now, so only listen, only fans, all the things you do in your management takes good care of you, great manager, and love him to death. Only thing you're missing, like I said, I got to get on him. He's got to get you that cape. You need a cape, Kevin. You need a cape.
Next fight video might have a cape. All right. Next fight announcement, we will do a new fight video. I might do a cape. Might look like I'm flying in the air and everything. I got you.
I'm just saying, like I said, that's the only thing that's missing right now. If there's one thing I gotta say it's missing, it's the only thing that's missing, Kevin. It's the only thing you need right now. A cape with an S or a K or something on the back. You need something like that.
I'm thinking a silk cape with an O on the back. And people are gonna think it stands for OnlyFans, but I just think it's the hero from Ontario. You know what I mean? I like the way that goes.
There you go. Kevin, it is always a pleasure to catch up. I really appreciate taking the time and enjoy the rest of your training camp. And I know it's a short trip down to Austin, but enjoy the trip to Austin. Enjoy the fight, man. You know, I always love chatting with you, and can't wait to see you back June 18th.
Hey, you too. Hey, and if anybody got motorcycles and if anybody has old schools in Austin, Texas or near Austin, Texas, I'm going to try and set something up Friday after weigh-ins. Let's get up. Let's find a place to meet and let's swang and bang up and down the highway before I go out there and fight so we can have some real Texas tradition shit going on.
No, you said motorcycles. You said motorcycles.
Yeah, old schools and motorcycles. Motorcycles because the sound of the choppers, and then the old school cars because the sound of the engines just flooding down the road. Yeah, let's do it. I'll bring the Rigo out there. Y'all bring y'all things out there. Let's swang and bang. I want to be somewhere in the middle or somewhere in the front or somewhere in the back. I don't care. I just want to swang with y'all. Let's go, Texas.
I love it. Kevin, it is always a pleasure, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Yes, sir.